All right, let's get started. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon, an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6 and 7 figure CEOs. However, I have a mission, and that mission includes you, and that is entrepreneurs and small business owners who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first six figures in business. I want to show you how to make the money and create time freedom. That's make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from all over the world. I'll spare you that 5-year journey and just let you know that right now, currently, I'm living my best life and working my best business in Mexico. Okay. So Blog Talk for today has been released. As you guys know, all week long, we have been talking about the effective use of VAs, but we're really talking about team members, period, right? But we're saying VAs because this was a community member request between Auntie Shaky and Dr. LaFera. Last week, we were talking about VAs and having to fire them and, how to get the effective use of them. So we came up with this week, we need to talk about the effective use of VAs. But again, it's really any team member. So as a chief operating officer, I manage teams, right? And so what I do for VAs and team members is I've created 4 phases to help you create the effective use of your team members, okay? Monday, we talked about the first phase, and that was the preparation phase. You should not just be hiring people and you haven't prepared your business, okay, for other people to work in it besides you, okay? And I liken that to the fact that you need to get your house ready and clean before you invite people over, right? So before you invite guests, you need to clean the house, organize the house, right? Same thing. Then yesterday, we talked about that the next phase is the hiring phase. And yes, hiring has steps to it. It's a whole phase, right? You're not just saying, yeah, let me start paying you and let you come in here and start doing stuff. No. And so I liken that to, okay, we're having a dinner party. We've invited people over. We clean the house. The next thing we're going to do is go grocery shopping, right? So we're going to go grocery shopping. That was that phase. All right. Now we're in phase 3. Okay, phase 3 is training and development. We're going to say this is the cooking phase. Now we're cooking with gas, right? So we got our people, and now we're going to train them. Now, if you have been with us all week, we've had this conversation about independent contractors versus employees, W-2 people, right? So you cannot treat them the same. So some of this, I don't know who Miles Kamiko is. I don't know if that's Kimberly Miles or not. So we can't let that person in. Sorry. But we don't know. We have to treat them differently, right? So we'll talk about more of that toward the end. But let's just go through what training and development should look like, okay? So when you're training, whether they have an expertise or not, what you want to do is train them how to work in your business, though, right? Even an expert needs to know how to work with you or how best to work with you. So you want to train them on the responsibilities and expectations, right? You want to clearly communicate what the responsibilities and duties are, what you expect from them, what performance expectations look like, and what the goals for the role are, okay? Let me tell you, there are so many of you who hire people and just tell them to start doing stuff. And in your mind, you think you're going to know what it looks like for them to do it right when they do it right. But you don't know what it looks like to do it right. You don't know what success looks like. That means they don't know what success looks like. So you're stuck in this cycle of, they're just not doing it right. I might as well do it myself. Well, if you knew what the expectation was, what success would look like, what they should be doing, how they should be doing it, and what, if you knew, right, then you can communicate the desire of that to them. And they actually know what success looks like. Let me give you an example, right? Because a lot of us will let's just say we bring on an appointment setter or a salesperson, right? And so we start to say, well, I want you to reach out to 100 leads a day, right? So that we can get in sales. And so guess what they're focused on? They're focused on getting in, talking to 100 leads a day, period. They're just checking it off, right? Because what you said success was them reaching out to 100 leads a day. That's actually not success. Success is sales, damn it, right? Success was sales, but you never broke it down to You know what I'm saying? The leads and how they lead to sales. So a better way of saying that is, hey, we're trying to get at least one sale a week from you in particular to start off with, right? And how you can get that one sale a week is we expect you to reach out to at least 100 leads a day, right? From those 100 leads, your goal is to get 10 people on the phone, okay? And from those 10 people on the phone, we should get at least one sale. You see how that whole thing is what success looks like? But if you're just telling them, reach out to 100 leads a day, you've left out so much. And that's why you're not effectively getting from them what you need to get from them, okay? So that was important, right? All right, the next thing you want to do is access to tools and technology, okay? You want to ensure the person that you brought in has the necessary equipment, tools, and access to software and systems that they require for their role, okay? Some of y'all have an ideal of what you need. You start hiring people, you don't even have all the tech in place, or you don't know what tech to require that they have, okay? So you need to know this stuff. So you see how carefully you should have this planned out before you bring people into your mess and your chaos? Because sometimes you can't effectively use them because you haven't effectively prepared for them, okay? The next thing we want to do, job-specific training. Okay, provide job-specific training that covers the essential tasks, responsibilities. The training should be tailored to the person's needs and job requirements. Now, that's going to be one of those things. That's the difference between an employee and an independent contractor. An independent contractor on some level should come in knowing what to do. Okay, if you're training them to this degree, they are an employee. Okay, plain and simple, they are an employee. If you are in the United States and we're talking about someone, your team member living in the United States, okay? We have to watch out for that independent contractor versus employee. Now, let's talk about compliance and safety training. Like if you're doing something that requires them to do something that has compliance along with it, right? Or any safety along with it. And safety is usually, brick and mortar businesses where you're in, physically doing things in a physical dwelling is usually safety, but there are compliance. Even if you're giving services, there are compliance. Even if it's your marketing, there's compliance with marketing now, right? There's compliance with sales. So don't think that you're exempt from compliance. Make sure you're up to date on compliance that touches your business. Let me give you 2 examples, okay? In marketing, you can't just be putting people on your email list and marketing to them. They have to opt in. Okay, so just because you met somebody and got their business card, you're not supposed to be putting those people on in your system and then marketing to them. They have to opt in. It is illegal to just put people on your list and start marketing to them. Okay, text message marketing is even worse. Okay, because if they haven't opted in and they are on a do not call list registry and you are marketing to these people, that is illegal. Okay. In sales, did you know the Federal Trade Commission, for some of you, especially y'all with these high ticket things, you're supposed to give three days to people to get a refund, no questions asked. Think of it as like a car lemon law, okay? You're supposed to give these people 3 days, no matter how much money they gave you, right? To get a refund based on the federal trade law. So you need to read up on that, right? Because again, compliance. Now, let's go to development, okay? So you got your person trained, but if you have an entry-level person, which we already understand, every VA, every remote worker is not entry-level. They're not just administrative, but some are, okay? But some could be, I say, middle level, but you want to get their skill set up, right? Well, you don't go from entry level to all of a sudden an expert. You have to develop them, and you develop them in phases, right? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create an individual development plan. Where are they now, and where do you want them to get to for the next phase? And again, the next phase is not expert. Nobody goes from beginner to expert, okay? So there needs to be a plan for that particular person and how they're going to get from where their skill set is right now to the next phase of a higher skill set, okay? Again, this is going to be an independent contractor versus employee thing. But the funny thing is, some of you are using VA agencies, and these agencies are supposed to make sure that these VAs are trained, and you are accepting the fact that you have an untrained VA rather than saying, hey, I like this person, but they need more training in such and such. Y'all, the agency, need to get them more training in such and such. right? And I would like to know what that training plan looks like. Or saying to the agency, hey, this person that you gave me has more entry level skills. I need you to give me a person with more intermediate skills. So this person can only do this, this, and this. I need someone who can do this, 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 and this without me having to go back and forth with them. So you guys are having an untapped resource with these agencies, and you're not using the agencies effectively. Let me give you an example. I use Sales Kiwi for a client, right? Sales Kiwi has remote and virtual salespeople appointment setters. All right. So my client was the salesperson because nobody could sell that stuff like he could, and he wanted to stay in that sales position. But he wanted somebody to do the appointments for him. So we got an appointment setter. Well, the appointment setter, I could tell, was basically an admin. She didn't really know how to persuade people to take the appointment. So I went back to the agency and I said, hey, she doesn't have the skill set that I need. I need somebody who's actually a closer. They're just not selling. But I need them to be able to close on these appointments so that we have more appointments for my client to sell to. They can even prime this person for the sale. And if they make the sale, get a commission. I went back to the agency. Now, this is the crazy thing. Even when I got a closer, there were still some things he had to work on. Guess what they did for that person? They gave that person a sales coach from within the agency. I didn't pay for that person a sales coach. I'm getting a person from an agency. What I look like paying for your training, right? So go back to these agencies and use them for what you need to use them for, okay? Individual development plans. I always ask the agency, what is the plan, right? And I check in with my person, like, you know, what have you been doing on this plan? This is what they told me you were doing, right? Okay, then let's just say they are someone that is working with you and you want to give them access to more knowledge, right? You can give them access to workshops. We're having a workshop in our community, right? So our paid workshop for the month is next Wednesday. If you haven't checked it out yet, which Teray has helped me work the bugs out the link, but go to shaycannon.com/organic because we're doing a workshop on organic marketing next week. Now, I'm doing it differently though. I'm doing a workshop in combination with the challenge. So next Wednesday, we do the workshop. You're going to learn, right? Then you're going to have time to process, get your questions ready. And then the following Monday, we're going to start a 3-day challenge where I teach you how to implement what you learned. Okay. That's what we're doing. Okay. Check it out. shaycannon.com/organic. Don't forget to use your coupon code, y'all. So your coupon code is Sixers, SIXERS. That's not working. Okay. We'll check it out. So don't buy it at 147 because y'all should get it at 97.
It's Sixer without the S at the end.
That's what I said first, Teray. I need you to pay attention.
No. You said Sixers with the S.
I said it's Sixer. You said no. I said Sixers. You said no. And I'm like, okay, then I don't know what it is. But okay, Sixer, SIXER. Okay. So sign up for the workshop. So you can expose them to workshops. You can expose them to online learning resources. Guess what? You can even expose them to conferences and events, right? I'll never forget one of the people that I worked for, almost every conference she went to, she took me with her because I was to learn things as she was learning things. And then we would powwow on how we were going to make her business better. Right. So you can do that too. All right. So training and development is important. All right. So if you were to hire somebody today, what is something you know you would need to train them on to get effective use out of them for your business? Okay, I'm going to start with Kimberly Miles so that she can put it in the comments. So Kimberly, put yours in the comments. Okay, Dr. LaFera, what is something you know you would have to train somebody on if you were hiring them today so that you can get the best use out of them?
Okay.
Okay.
So, I guess I would have to make sure that they know how to upload stuff to Amazon and Etsy and those different places because like that's where I'm getting ready to take most of my sales. So I would need to make sure that they know how to do that and how to do graphic designs, I guess. But I also like to and for my product side, I also would need to make sure they know how to not just find these, but like to convert them for getting my stuff into different boutiques. But I did have a question for you.
Yes.
And this was about like, so some states are at will states.
Yes.
So like some states can fire you or let you go and not have a reason. Like, and I live in one of them. Because that happened to me. I didn't get fired, but like I didn't get my contract renewed.
Yes.
And they said, we don't have to give you a reason.
Huh.
And that was like 10 years ago.
Yes.
Like, we don't have a reason. We don't need one.
Okay.
So like in those cases, like this kind of seems like it's like it sounds nice and it's great, but like some people have more rights than like professional people in states that are, you know, no fault or at will states. Like you work at will, we can do whatever we want. So I guess like how many states are not like that versus like I guess you know, like some of the stuff we're talking about maybe I guess overkill because you don't even need a reason to get rid of people.
It depends, right? So,
Yeah.
an at-will state is referring to employees and not independent contractors, right? Because an employee doesn't necessarily have an end date. A contract has an end date, and in the contract, it should have a clause for the termination if you're going to do it before the end date, right? So those are kind of two different things. But I am not versed in W-2 employees. That's why I gave y'all a resource of Delmar Johnson, who is versed. And so I'll put her back in this chat on Facebook. Let me see, at Delmar, because she is now successfully in the community, is the expert with labor law compliance for employees and W-2 versus independent contractors. Yeah. So I don't, even though I'm a former labor employment paralegal, I have been a full-time entrepreneur, not in the legal field for a long time. I don't know what laws are updated, not updated. And so I don't rely on my old expertise to tell people stuff. I just help you to think differently based on how the laws could be, because we're out here just hiring people and micromanaging the shit out of them and thinking that that's okay. And that's not, because that is not how you deal with a contractor if you've hired somebody from the United States. And so I just need you to think differently. And so I'm giving you enough information to think differently, but my expertise is not what the exact laws are, which states are, who are all of the states that have these ridiculous laws. I know California has ridiculous laws. I know New York does. I know Pennsylvania does. And that's just from hearing different things, dealing with different things for clients, but I am not, I don't have an in-depth knowledge of the states and where they are right now, but I think that Delmar does. So reach out to her about that. But again, if it's a contractor at will, doesn't have anything to do with that. The contract itself is what has to do with how you get rid of that person.
So question,
Yes.
for the, okay, so if we hire these people for different agencies, when we get rid of them, I guess like it makes sense to legally like to go back to their contract and put, this is the part of the contract that, you know, cite that part of the contract and stuff. Like if you hire somebody from Upwork or whatever, like, but this is a part of the contract, because they're like, well, what did I do? And you're like, well, you didn't do this and this and this. But instead of doing that, just go back and put that part of the contract and just shut it down and not even have to say anything else. Like, is that what you do?
So some of that is going to be in your onboarding. So you should be telling them what your expectations are, right? So that's a part of the training, right? You should be telling them the expectations, and you should be telling them the consequences of not meeting expectations. And so, yes, when I'm dealing with something and it's not in my contract, I go immediately update my contract, but you cannot update a contract with a person that you have already signed a contract with without their signing either an amendment, an addendum, or something. You see what I'm saying? Or a whole new contract. But you can't just be like saying, okay, I'm now just adding this to your contract, so abide by it. They didn't sign that. You just came up with that. Does that answer the question, Dr. LaFera?
Well, I wasn't saying because I don't update the contract, but no, like so for me, if I hire somebody, like I was saying before, if they don't show up for meetings several times or something like that, or if like their work is like they have the brand guide and all that, and they keep giving you stuff that's not like the examples that you gave them when they started, and they've been with you for weeks, and then you're like, okay, well, this still isn't, what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And then after, so many times, you're like, okay, this person still doesn't get it. They're getting paid every week. I'm not getting any results. I'm not even getting stuff that I can post at this point because it's not consistent with what I told them I wanted it to look like. And so at that point, it's like, okay,
So my
now you are
question, to answer your question, I need to know, are they a VA from an agency? Are they a VA that you hired directly? Is that VA in the United States? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So first start there. Where is the
agency,
VA from?
both. I've
with an
had
agency.
that with agency and with me hiring directly. And with the agency, I told them, I'm like, this person is not, doing what I need them to do. They're not doing what I had, told you I needed. And so with that agency, I told them that. And it took that agency to I think like 2 months to get me a person to begin with before I even went back to them and said I'll try them. And so when they gave me this person and I told them they weren't working out, I didn't get a new person for a while, so I didn't even go back to the agency, and it's supposed to be one of the
I was gonna say
agencies.
sometimes you just need to replace the agency.
Yeah,
because what it is the agency, right, should have a pool of people to pull from. When they're not switching them people out the way you need, they might not have a pool of people. So you might need another agency to get a new pool of people, right? So don't just stay with the agency if they're not giving you what you need. So I'm not going to stay with the person. So the first thing I'm going to do is have the agency. If I like the person, then I'm willing to work with the agency to get them up to par and tell me what the plan is, and I approve the plan. Okay, that's fine. If I don't want to deal with the person at all, then I just need a new person, and I need one immediately. You see what I'm saying? If you can't supply one immediately, then when can you supply one? 2 months is not going to work for me, so I'm going to switch agencies. I'm not going to keep waiting on you. You see what I'm saying? So some of that is the reason why, like, you're going without what you need. So then you end up either doing it yourself or going without altogether. But we got to hold the person accountable, and we have to hold the agency accountable. Now, if it's somebody that you hire directly, then yeah, you should have in your contract how you can get rid of them. We don't have to keep dealing with them over and over again. You get rid of them and you find somebody else. You see what I'm saying? But the main thing is, are we setting them up for success? How do you cite why you're firing? But if you have a contract, I don't have to cite why I'm firing. You see what I'm saying? I'm not really firing you because I didn't hire you. I am ending your contract. So just like you said, them people ended your contract and didn't give you a reason. I can end your contract. In my contract, I say I give you a 2-week notice to end your contract. In my contract, it does not say I have to tell you why. Now, I will, but that's because I want to tell you. I want you to be better. But if you don't want to tell them, you don't have to. If that's not in the contract, you don't have to. Shay asked if it was a direct, oh, you telling her. Okay, but you get that, Dr. LaFera, and is that now helpful?
It's helpful, but contractors have more rights than employees. That's all. That's basically.
They only have the rights in the contract.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's it. All their rights are in the contract. That's why when people say stuff, I'll be like, what's in the contract? I don't care what you think morally is right. I don't care what you think is right for the way you want to do business. What is in the contract? Think about it. TLC was making $1 and driving RAV4s because of their contract. You see what I'm saying? So they have the rights of their contract. So that's why you need to tighten up our contracts. That's why we need attorneys, right? So I have things that I know I want in my contract, and I go to an attorney, I'll be like, how do I legally say this? So that's what we do. All right, Kimberly, you can put yours in the comments. Tracy, if you were to hire somebody today, what do you know you would have to train them on to get effective use out of them?
I would have to train them on how to do email and calendar management for me, and to always be closing. So if they are turning leads into appointments, how to do that um, confidently and effectively so that it could keep my business rolling.
Okay. Is that two different people or the same person?
That's the same person.
Okay. So what you would do is you would hire somebody for the higher skill set and then tell them they're going to also do the lower skill set. Don't hire somebody for the lower skill set and then expect them to be able to do the higher one. Okay. Because that email and calendar, that's admin. And then you put in that sales. Sales is its own skill set.
Okay.
Okay. Cool beans. Glow, if you were to hire somebody today, what is something you know you would need to train them on for them to have effective use in your business?
I was over here thinking so many things. It was like I trained them how to do edits for my segments. I would train them how to sound like me on social media when it comes to posting my segments, not talking, not doing no talking, but when it comes to writing in the captions and stuff. Because I feel like if it's switched up, then people, oh no, that's not Glow, that's somebody else. And then I was thinking of possibly it was the edits, then it was the social media, and then just that's it. Yeah, just basically teaching them how to run my social media. And then I was also thinking I would want to learn from them as well too, because they can also teach me something, how to be more effective on social media, to possibly gain in more followers by possibly switching up some things that I may say on social media. So
okay. So that sounds like you cannot hire a doer. You have to hire an expert, which means you're going to pay more money. If you want to learn from them, that has to be somebody that has the skill set already, right?
Yeah, but you remember I was talking about yesterday with the assistant, like, okay, but you also, I took in heed of what you said, like I may just be her first client, but that doesn't mean she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is we got to make sure she does know what she's doing. If you want a part of that, you hiring them is that you learn from them. You have to make sure that you're hiring an expert with expertise. Cool beans. All right, Demetra, if you had to hire somebody today, what is it that you know you would have to have them trained in?
Good morning, everyone. And let's see. If it's a teacher, okay, and I'm talking as an independent contractor coming in for tutoring, I think I would do mindset training would be first.
Okay.
Next would be customer relationships, and then thirdly, sales and closing. If they're coming from the classroom, they have been traumatized, honestly. So that's why I suggested the mindset training. And also then the shift also with the customer service relationships, because there's so many instances in which we don't have contact with family members. So now that you're going from, not having contact with family members to people coming, or, you have an easy access to the families, developing those relationships. And then of course, sales and closing speaks for itself. However, when I go back to travel, I've had 3 independent contractors, and, they were under contracts, yearly contracts. I made sure that everything that I wanted was in the contract. You just can't make people do shit. Like, really, you give them all the training that is there. I had these beautiful modules and sequential order. I mean, just wonderful, wonderful things. Yes. And they don't do it. And I'm like, this is not only for the development of my business, because you're an independent contractor. This is for you. You're getting 80% of this commission. I'm only getting 20%. So you have to do what you have to do for your business. This enhance your business. But I swear to you, Lord child, It was difficult.
But this is why we, so the phrase is slow to hire, fast to fire, right? So you're slow to hire to make sure you're getting the best person in the position that you can, right?
Mhm.
And you're quick to fire because if they're not working out, we need to get rid of them because we're wasting time and money. And this is why I'm not a proponent of hiring friends, family, people that you know and love, right? Especially in my business, because I know how I am. I am very self-sacrificial with people that I love and care about. And I don't want to be. I need somebody that is my business comes first. I don't want to put you first. So you hiring people out your family and now y'all experience a death in the family, your business has to stop because everybody in your business now has to go mourn, go to family events, all these things, right? Or now somebody's sick, they got COVID, now you can't replace them, you can't get rid of them, you scared about them, you got to make sure that household is okay, you don't want to take the money away, but meanwhile, your business is suffering, right? So, I mean, I look at all of that. I don't like I am about to, for the second time, look at hiring my son to do video editing, but that thing now has grown professionally. Let me tell you, because what did I do? I was slow to hire him. I was like, this is what I want. Are you sure you want to do it? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put you in a sauna and this is how we're going to do it. He's like, well, it's not working with me doing it from my phone. Why are you not using your laptop? I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Fired. You know what I'm saying? So now he done been out there in the world with his videography and his video editing, and he like, I think I can help you. I got these ideas to help you. He doesn't even know I'm gonna pay him, right? So you just got to keep that stuff in mind. The business comes first because the business needs what it needs, no matter what's going on with you and no matter what's going on with them. So get those people up out of there when they're not working out. But first, make sure it's not you. Before I fire anybody or get rid of anybody, I check the structure first. Did I set them up for success? It is not nobody's fault that I'm paying them and they sitting there not doing that because I can't give them nothing because I ain't explained it or I haven't trained them or I don't have the right stuff, right? Just like people, when you are hiring these appointment setters and these salespeople, they work off of leads. If you don't have 100 leads a day coming in, then how the hell are they going to work 100 leads a day? Right? You're not going to effectively get use out of them if you have not set them up for success. So good stuff, Demetra. Good stuff. Auntie Shaky, if you have a small team, but say you had to hire somebody new today, what do you know you would have to train them on?
You know what? You just said something that that was so good. But when you
What
were
was it?
asking,
Look, tell us what it was. You know I like to hear it. Tell me.
it literally just I forgot it. So I'm not gonna stroke her ego. No, I'm just kidding. But heck, it was something you said that was so good. I really cannot remember it.
It's okay. It's okay. What would you have to train somebody on if you had to hire somebody today in your business?
I would have to train them on me. I would have to train them on how I am. Like that's hands down the very first thing, because if they don't know who I am, how I am, then we're gonna bump heads. We're gonna bump heads. I'm real easy to check out. I'm very away from my business, but like in it at the same time, if that makes sense. If they need something from me, they're gonna have to ask, that sort of thing. But and now I remember what you said, that but I have to give them a way to be successful. That's what you said. And so versus me just throwing the work at them and saying, okay, do this and figure it out along the way. I need to not do that anymore. So I would, I would give them, a set of SOPs and stuff like that. I still am not because of the fact that my genius is not in doing menial tasks and, the day-to-day work. I don't know what a training platform would look like other than handing them SOPs.
So it could be you doing a Loom, which is just recording your screen of how you do a particular thing that is inside of a software, right? It could be you doing a video explaining the what and the why, right? It'll be just like you creating your own little workshops on specific things, right? So think about some of the courses that you have bought and how they have presented the information, right? And I am an advocate of, if you're creating video trainings or any kind of SOP trainings, to add a quiz in there. Let me see what you got from it. You know what I'm saying? That way I know you're not just skipping over saying that you watched it and you really didn't watch it. But you know, I took the time, like Demetra said, I took the time to do all these videos and stuff, and you don't watch them. No, I'll know because you didn't take this quiz or by your answers on the quiz. But sometimes also the answers to the quiz, I know what to help you with a little more. Right?
Yeah.
So, and the quiz, you know, it could be in the course platform. It could just be, hey, watch this course module by such and such date, and by this team meeting, I'm going to ask you some questions on it. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and so for you, Auntie Shaky, I think a great thing for you is going to be to have that touch point with your team where they can ask you questions about what you want. Because you are definitely one of those that stay high level, and then when they go to work what you said high level, they have questions, but you're not immediately available to answer the questions.
Yep.
So maybe even a Slack channel that you can look at the end of each day, and then a touch point that's either a team meeting or, you know, some type of daily time. Like I do my assistant, like there's a time frame where I'm gonna have all my tasks ready for you, and now you can ask questions in that time frame. You're gonna have to set up something like that.
That's oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Thank you.
So throw them in a Slack channel, just like, you know, you're in my coaching program. You
Yep.
know that y'all can't inbox me every day, but I know I can go to that Slack.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, make sure I answer all y'all's questions, right?
Yeah. That's
Cool
so
beans.
good. Thank you.
Of course. Eva, darling, if you had to hire somebody today for your cleaning business, what do you know you would have to train them on? Let's see if Eva can come off the mic. Looks like Eva's not ready. I'm gonna give her more time by telling y'all what Kimberly Miles put in the comments. She said, I need them to understand my demographic, which means I need to make sure I communicate effectively what that is. Also, make sure they understand how to market to them. For me right now, it's social media marketing. Kimberly, I hope you come into the organic marketing workshop, because you said something that might be a red flag for your business. They got you over there spending money and time on something that may or may not work. So hopefully you come into the workshop. But yes, you want them to understand your demographic, but then you have to teach them how to use it. Right? So sometimes we want people to understand things or come in with a skill set, but they don't know how in particular to use it for us. Right? And so we have to tell them that. All right, Teray, if you had to hire somebody today, what would you have to make sure to train them on?
Hi, ladies. I'd have to make sure before I train them on social media and my email campaigns that I train them on culture.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just important. You can't do my social media, you can't do my email campaigns until you understand my group and my demographic and what they like and what they don't like. So that would be my training.
Love it. So multiple times I've heard y'all saying train them on my people, right? So do you have some kind of guide about your people? Let me tell you, I have a guide, my clients, I have a guide, okay, that we give to vendors when we hire them, so that they understand who our people are. They know what our brand colors are, what our font is. We tell them, like, we use this color as an accent and the rest of these, we use them boldly. You know, we tell them about our people. We tell them about our business, right? The naming convention of when you write this name out is that this is always capitalized, this letter is capitalized, and this letter is capitalized, even though it's a username or a domain name, right? So I teach them, right, how to use our stuff so that they have a better expectation, and I've set them up for success, right? I'm a little OCD, so that helps. I know visually how I need things to look every time, right? I have a specific place, like even when I hire somebody to do my blog posts or to do my graphics, there are specific places I want my logo to appear, right? I want it to most of the time appear in the bottom right. Now, if the picture that you're putting it over doesn't, you know, that will block something important, then my second choice is top right. You know what I'm saying? So I give them that thing. My third choice is going to be bottom left. My fourth choice is going to be, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want them putting shit in the middle of my picture. You know what I'm saying? Like they might put it on somebody's t-shirt, like that's a part of it. That's not, I'm going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. I let them know how to use the different colors of my logo, right? If the picture or the background is dark, you need to use the all white logo. If the picture is light, you need to use the black logo. You only use the color logo when it doesn't conflict with the background or, you know, compete with the colors of the background, right? So I have things that I'm telling people so that when I get the first version of something, I can get the best first version. And that's what you guys have to do. All right. Keith Munn said good morning earlier. We got Shawana Mack over there saying good morning. Good morning, Shawana. So I want to share something with y'all that I've shared with you before because it's coming into play again. Because some of y'all don't even know who to hire first. We're talking about VAs and team members, but you don't even know which one you need, right? So let's go back to this that I created for my coaching programs, which is when people tell you who you should hire first and they don't know anything about your business, that could be not true. At one time, everybody was saying you should hire a VA. Maybe, maybe not. At another time, people said, oh, you need a project manager first. Maybe, maybe not. Now people are talking about, oh, you need fractional C-suite people first. And I am a fractional C-suite person, but maybe not. So who do you hire first in general? These are the rules. What or who do you need help with or from to get the money already waiting on you the fastest? Sorry about that. I feel a little frog in my throat. But let me give you an example. I had somebody that was trying to hire me to come in, but when I evaluated their business, they needed more production assistance, right? They had orders waiting that they couldn't get money for because they weren't fulfilling it. Well, you need more production assistance to get the money that's already waiting on you. That money can help you pay for me, right? So what money is already waiting on you that if you had somebody to help you with, that you can get to? Start there. Okay, next, who or what do you need help with or from to get the money consistently, right? There's somebody that can help you that you're not getting money consistently because you're getting bogged down with the things that you're already servicing, so you can't immediately go to the next person to service and the next person to service and the next. Who can help you get money consistently? Maybe that's even marketing. Maybe you ain't got enough leads coming in, right? Who can help you get the money consistently? Next is going to be what or who do you need to get out of the weeds of administrative tasks so you can focus on bringing in money? Yes, I know your graphics are good when you make them. But if, let's say you make $100 an hour, if you go out there and bring the business in, would you pay a graphic designer $100 an hour? No, you wouldn't. So you should not be doing graphics. So who do we need to hire administratively so that we can go do the higher dollar per hour things and bring money in? Okay. Who do you need so that you aren't always servicing the client? This is how we start to scale. Because if you're the only one that ever services a client, you have capped your earning potential. You can only service the amount of clients that you have the capacity to service. Okay? So next, what are you not good at doing or lack knowledge to do, and who can do it? This is where that book, The Who Not the What, comes in, right? Some of y'all be trying to spend hours learning stuff when all the hours you spent learning something that you still might not even be good at, you could have put that into a budget to hire somebody that is an expert and get it done. Okay? So if you don't know it and you're not good at it, let's get somebody in that is. Okay? Next, what do you not want to do and who can do that? Okay? Because we know if we're doing some stuff we don't want to do, we're doing that thing with an attitude. We ain't doing it well. Okay? Last but not least, what should you not be doing and who can do it? So again, that's even if you like doing it, even if you're knowledgeable at doing it, your rate of pay shouldn't be the one doing it. Okay? Boom. Oh, Who Not How is the name of that book. Thank you, Dr. LaFera. I appreciate you. So it's been interesting. I'll put that graphic in the group under these comments so that y'all have that. But any questions about today? Any questions about the preparation, the hiring, or the training and development? This is good. So now what I'm hoping is happening is your mind is opening to the fact that if you had phases to each one of these things, if you had processes, then the people that you were hiring would be more effective just because you made a home for them to come into that sets them up for success. Okay? You are welcome, Dr. LaFera. So tomorrow what we're going to talk about is evaluation, right? Because yeah, we prepared our house for them, right? We grocery shopped with the hiring, right? Today we're cooking with gas today, right? But now we need to evaluate, was it a great party or not, right? And sometimes we need to be checking during the party. We don't need to wait till after the party to figure out, right? Sometimes we need to, are the bowls of snacks refreshed? You know what I'm saying? Is there enough beer going on? Is there enough champagne flowing? We should be checking that during the party, right? Same thing with the people that are working for you. You shouldn't just be like, they're not working out, and I think this was why they didn't work out. You should be evaluating, are they working out all along the way? So we're going to talk about evaluation tomorrow. All right. And hopefully after this week, you are set up for success. Because again, I took this information out of a training that is for small business, the fundamentals of small business operations that I created for VA agencies and for operations assistants. So these are things that are, let me tell you, they work. Okay. They work. So if you're not doing all these things, that could be lending itself to why your person is not effective in your business. Okay. Dr. LaFera says, Shay, do you formal scale or have them sign them? Formal, what? What's that? Come off the mic, Dr. LaFera. What do you mean?
That's typos.
Okay, my sorry.
I meant, do you do formal evals and have them sign them, so as, a way to keep track of what you told them.
So we're talking about evaluations tomorrow. So save that for tomorrow. But the quick answer is, it depends. Are they a W-2 employee or are they a contractor, right? A contractor shouldn't be signing no damn evaluations, right? So that's a great clue right there. But if they're your W-2 employee, yeah, that's why when we were in corporate America, we had to sign our evaluations. All right, y'all. It was a good day. Last call for alcohol. Any questions, y'all? Okay. So again, sign up for the workshop, shaycannon.com/organic. Look at me being country. Organic, like good morning, organic. It's organic. Go ahead and sign up for it. So let me tell y'all, y'all know I had been talking about it. Dr. LaFera basically was like, stop talking about it if you ain't gonna give us the link. I finally got the link. I want to share with y'all what it looks like, right? So y'all got 7 days because it's happening a week from today, right? And so basically what I'm doing is I'm solving all the problems from the poll that I gave. So that's why y'all had a designated deadline. So I'm answering all of those questions. So everything that y'all said y'all had a problem with is going to be in this workshop, as well as basically there is a way we should be doing things, okay? And that way should basically, I see what you were talking about. Oh, it's spinning. So that card is not showing up. I got you. But basically we should be knowing how to talk to the right people at the right time in the right places, y'all. And that's why we're putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this content, and it's not getting us anywhere. Because most of us are not talking to the right people at the right time in the right places. So that's what I'm building this workshop around, so that you guys can know how to do that. Oh, and then it timed out. So yeah, we need to work on that. But look at here. This the workshop, you're going to learn what is organic marketing. Why is it important? More important than ever right now that the landscape of marketing is changing, okay? What organic marketing options do you have? How do I use it to save time and money? Okay. How do I get more eyes on my content? How do I get a plan that produces consistency? I'm going to teach you all of that in the workshop, right? And then you got time from Wednesday to Monday to process that information, get your questions ready, because that Monday, we're going to have a 3-day challenge, okay? And in the challenge, what you're going to implement is you're going to choose, okay, what your organic marketing options are going to be. You're going to create a plan for what channels and what content. You're going to choose what technology is best to support your plan. You're going to create a schedule based on the time you have, okay? I'm not going to just tell you, you need to be on, creating content or doing organic marketing 40 hours a week. If you don't have 40 hours a week, that doesn't help you. So we're going to take the hours that you in particular have and create a plan for those hours based on the priority that's going to get you to the money, okay? Then we're going to start implementing the plan, and I'm going to give you analytics so that you can know what's working and what's not, and what to pivot to and what not to, okay? Now, again, to make it fun, what happens is if you attend the workshop, you're going to get a certificate. If you attend all 3 days of the challenge, you're going to get a notebook that says, I survived the challenge, okay? I'm going to send it to you. That's why the form asks you for your shipping address, okay? If you actually finish the challenge and you implement what I tell you to by the deadline, okay, which you're going to have 7 days from the challenge to complete. If you complete it within the 7 days, I'm going to send you a t-shirt that says I won the challenge. All right. So that's how we doing for 2024. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. I'm excited. We're doing this thing a different way, because you guys know when we tried to do the implementation as part of the workshop, we was tired after that workshop, right? Y'all brains was spinning, all kind of stuff. So now you got time to bring it on. Think about it. Let your mind play with GPT if you want to. And then on Monday, we get to work. Y'all are going to get a Slack channel for the 14 days. That is the duration of the whole event. So y'all can talk to each other. I'm not going to be in the Slack channel talking to y'all and coaching y'all in the Slack channel, not for no $97, but y'all can talk to each other. Okay. Y'all can say, hey, what do y'all think about this? She said, do this. I'm going to do it this way. What way y'all doing it? That's what that Slack channel is for. Right? I might make a special appearance and be like, did you think about this? But I'm not beholden to that, right? So yes, Dr. LaFleur, we're taking it to a whole new level, because I got to make sure my people get where they need to go, okay? Therese said she doing the damn thing. Well, if I can correct this thing, so y'all can still click the buttons and get to the cart, but the cart is supposed to also show up at the bottom of the page. So you can still, even though it's having a little technical difficulty, just click one of the 2 buttons and it'll take you to the cart. If the card is not showing up at the bottom of the page. But yeah, let's get going. Because you even have time, y'all. So if it happens at 7 o'clock, everything is going to happen at 7 p.m. Eastern time. On Wednesday is the workshop. And then the following Monday through Wednesday is the challenge. Everything happens at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Give you time to have your day, get a little snack, and then come on in here and let's get to business, right? Now, if you have something going on with the workshop, okay, on the workshop day and time, you will have time to watch the replay. This is a new thing, right? Before we start the challenge. Because I'm going to immediately put the replay in your vault. Okay? And so you can, if you miss it or you like, let me go through it again, you got time to do that before we get started with the challenge on Monday. All right? All right, y'all. Kimberly said, I'm glad I'm one of your people. I'll register today. Yes, y'all my people. We build